On Monday, Ray J joined The Breakfast Club as their guest co-host for a few days, and of course, his back and forth with Tyrese was a topic of discussion. Now, if you remember last month during the Golden Globes, Eddie Murphy was honored with their Lifetime Achievement Award named after Cecil B. DeMille. Murphy ended his speech with a joke referring to the Will Smith Oscar slap, and as soon as the joke was made, Tyrese took to Instagram to defend his friend, Will Smith. Ray J would respond to Tyrese's post by defending his mentor, Eddie Murphy, calling Tyrese's comments petty and insinuating that Tyrese isn't on Eddie's level to criticize him. Today we have our comedy hype analysts, Danielle Miller, Capone, and Pierre calling in to give their thoughts and reactions. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Up and just say something to all the new up-and-coming dreamers and artists that are in the room tonight. It's a blueprint, and I followed it my whole career. It's very simple. There's three things you do. Just do these three things. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name mouth.
Now, before I give you Tyrese's response, Pierre, you're the loudest one, so I'm gonna come to you first. What was your reaction? How do you feel about Eddie Murphy's joke?
That was funny. That was a long time. I mean, he's a comedian. What did you expect? He's a legendary comedian. He made something funny, man. Come on. I think even Will Smith would have laughed at that, man. Come on. That was beautifully timed.
Capone, let me come to you. Let me get your thoughts, especially coming from a comedian. What's your thoughts on it? How do you feel about Eddie Murphy's joke?
I don't think Eddie can do anything wrong. That was a genius right there. The timing, even the way he had set it up was just great. He said some real serious stuff about taxes and things like that, and they ended with Will Smith's wife. That's funny as hell.
And he said he's done it his entire career. Danielle, let me get you in on this. What's your reaction? How do you feel about Eddie Murphy's joke?
I think the joke was funny. I think the timing on it was perfect. Eddie is a legendary stand-up comedian, and he's doing what he does. I agree with both gentlemen. I agree with Pierre and Capone on their sentiments on this one.
Absolutely. Well, contrary to what all of you believe, Tyrese actually felt a little bit different, and here's what he had to say. He says, "I'm still team Will Smith. There's nobody on this earth that will ever influence me to ever have a change of heart towards the biggest influence in my life. I'm just saying, man, move on already. I just watched Emancipation for the third time. I just can't believe how masterful this overall movie is. Hashtag my brother's keeper." Now, in response to this, Ray J would then criticize him and say, hey, who are you to say anything about this? But let's take a look at his recent interview on The Breakfast Club.
If we being petty and we talking about move on already and all of this stuff, and Will Smith's one of the greatest of all time, I don't think he would appreciate like Tyrese going at Eddie Murphy is like, and his joke was light. Murphy, my mentor. I watch Boomerang and I watch Coming to America every single day of my life for a certain gap. Everybody got to agree with me. Like if Will Smith said move on already to Eddie, then it just like y'all got to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's
Tyrese,
on y'all.
so
Don't publicly try to go at Eddie Murphy.
Now, did Tyrese reach out to you? I know he likes to DM. Did he DM
ain't got
you?
my number. And I think Will would agree with me. Don't tell Eddie, like don't even talk to Eddie like that. That's a way out of both of our, like we're not there.
Yeah.
Now, while they could not figure out why Ray J decided not to wear his shirt, Capone, I'm going to bring you in. I want to get your reaction to Ray J. Do you agree with Ray J that Tyrese is not on a level with Eddie Murphy to criticize him?
Well, I'm a fan of all the guys, all four of them. And I just think that this bickering beef is unnecessary. I can't really give Ray J all that credibility because you're in the studio with no shirt. So something wrong with you right there. I don't want to listen to a man that's going to be filmed naked for no reason. I think the Kim Kardashian film has got to his head and he wants people to remember the film that he did. So like I said, I'm a fan of all the guys and I just think that it's unnecessary at this point.
Pierre, let me bring you in and get your thoughts. What's your reaction? Do you agree with Ray J that Tyrese is not on the level with Eddie Murphy to even criticize him?
I agree with Capone. Can comedians do something? Can comedians do something in the news? God damn. Good Lord. Come on, comics, do something. Comedians, do something. These two guys, I mean, they're protecting each other's, investment, emotional friendship investment. Tyrese is doing his for Will Smith, and Ray J is doing it for Eddie Murphy. Who is bigger and better? Does it really matter who, you can say what you want to. I'm going to say what I want to. I don't care if I'm big as Eddie Murphy or not, or big as Tyrese or whatever. I have a right to say what I want to, but it doesn't matter what level you on. You can say what you want to. People in the comments say stuff about us, and they're not on this show. They're not on our level as far as being seen. So people can say what they want to. I don't find one way or the other. Say what you want to. Protect your friend if you want to. That's fine. And if you're on his level, not on his level, just do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Danielle, let me bring you in. What's your reaction? Do you agree with Ray J that, hey, Tyrese, you aren't on a level with Eddie Murphy to criticize him?
Can I say that both men are giving me like pick me nigga vibes? Like I'm so sorry. Because Ray J, I'm sorry. Ray J is there with no shirt on. And then Tyrese is commenting on something that doesn't even warrant such a response. I think, first of all, let me say, as a human being, you are entitled to your opinion. So whatever Tyrese chooses to say, that's his human right. It has nothing to do with levels. That's just his human right. But overall, I just feel like the both of them giving like pick me nigga vibes, because Ray J ain't even had to acknowledge Tyrese's comment about the joke, and Tyrese ain't even had to acknowledge the joke. Like, I always wonder, when it comes to two legends, did they even sit down? Did like Eddie call him and say, yo, I'm about to crack a joke on you? Is that fine? Like, we don't even know what happened in the background. So I just don't get it from Ray J nor Tyrese's end. I guess those two called up each other and say, hey, we haven't been in the news a while, so let me leave that alone. Okay.
Let me ask you this, Danielle, because Ray J is saying, talking about, being on levels, and hey, Tyrese, you're not on Eddie Murphy's level to even criticize him. Do you think that Ray J is on Tyrese's level to criticize him?
Who you going with?
Again, that's his human right. Ray J is a human. He has a right to his opinion. But when it comes to levels, I think right now, Tyrese and Ray J are on the same level, because it's like Tyrese is on the internet with antics. Ray J is on the internet with antics. I mean, Tyrese does have the Fast and Furious franchise. But I just think that he's entitled to his opinion as a human being. Yeah.
Capone, I'm coming over to you because I heard you say who you choosing. So I'm going to come to you. Who are you choosing when you look at Ray J and Tyrese?
She said it great. She, like, they on the same level. They always on the internet. This is where their stardom comes from. They both got great classics. He does the Transformer, and Ray J does the Kim Kardashian classic. So that is
Fast and Furious. Yeah, Fast and
Damn.
Furious.
those movies will never die.
If you had a movie, Capone, I'm starting with you. If you had a movie to go see, last movie, Eddie Murphy movie, Will Smith movie, help me out. Who are we going to go see? Because I'm stuck.
Well, Miss Pretty, I'm just going to tell you, I can't lie. I'm going to see the Nutty Professor, because I just love, Hercules. That's all I'm going to see. Eddie is just great. That's all I'm going to tell you. I mean, Will Smith is good. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes down to Sherman Klump, oh my God, I can't tell you how much I like that movie right there.
I love it. Pierre, I'm coming to you. Last movie, which one are we going to go see? Will Smith, Eddie Murphy?
Next time, if you want a real opinion, ask us between Jimmy Walker and Byron Allen, okay? Okay? Ask them that question, and you're going to hear some real fireworks, but who we like. But between those two, to be honest with you, it would depend on how I feel. Am I in an emotional mood, or am I in a happy mood? You know what I'm saying? If I'm happy, of course, Eddie Murphy. Emotional, want a heavy scene, movie that's going to be impactful or whatever. As far as emotional like that, it would be Will Smith. So it would depend on the last, how I feel in the last movie to pick. Tell me how I feel during that last one. Am I happy or am I emotional? You like that answer? I'm gonna play them games, y'all. It's all in pocket.
Danielle, I'm coming to you to close this out. It's the last movie we're gonna go see. We got Will Smith, we got Eddie Murphy. Danielle, who we're choosing?
I agree with everything PR said.
What? Hold on, close the door. I'm trying to turn this shit off. What the hell? Turn this stuff off.
I think PR was like spot on with his answer. It depends on what mood you're in. But right now, though, in the moment, if I had to choose, because I'm gonna spice it up just a little bit, because I'm gonna play into the little trapsiness of this question. I would have to say Bad Boys 4. I would definitely, like, last movie, I would see Bad Boys 4. Sorry, Eddie. If you still need somebody for Coming to America 3, I am still here. Again, I don't have to talk. Just put me in the front, let me dance in front of the king. But I definitely go with Bad Boys 4.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you all. Like I said, it was proposed to me and I couldn't figure it out. So I was like, I needed a little help. So I figured I'd ask you all during this conversation. But thank you all for chiming in on this topic. Of course, I'd like to know what you have going on and, of course, how people can follow you. So Capone, Mr. Nutty Professor, I'm going to start with you. What do you have coming up? And, of course, how can people follow you?
Tonight is a good night for me. I'll be on Instagram Live doing the daughter and father talk. My daughter wants to air out. I want to air out. So hopefully this will help parents and children learn how to communicate and be able to disagree to agree. And so if you want to follow me, you want to see the show tonight, it starts at 8:00 p.m. Follow me on Instagram, comedian, let me say it slow, comedian Capone. If you cannot spell comedian, then follow Pierre.
No shit.
Pierre, I'm coming over to you then. What do you have coming up? And, of course, how can people follow you?
All right, Capone, shots fired. The quote is to agree to disagree, not nigga agree to disagree to agree. The hell is that? you gonna agree? You gonna disagree to agree? Nigga, you and your daughter, that's what y'all gonna do? Disagree to agree. All right, whatever. But I'm you catch me on my YouTube show, dating, what do you call it? Pierce Panic Room. We have the funny and interesting Mr. John Sally on there this week. So check that out. Also, if you live in Exton, Pennsylvania, it's EXTON, anywhere near there. I'm at a hotel there this Saturday night. It's publicized. Check it out. And you can always catch me in the comments on on Comedy Hype News. I'm always lurking. Just start it off with my name and I will read it. If you start off with my name, I will read it.
Danielle, last and not least, calling all the way in from the Bahamas. What do you have coming up? And, of course, how can people follow you?
Of course, again, I'll say this. I have episodes of Sis coming up on my YouTube channel, and that is YouTube, Danielle, DENIELLE. And you can follow me on Instagram at DEEA Miller, Facebook at DENIELLE. And that's it.
Absolutely. Well, again, I appreciate you all for chiming in on this topic and helping me figure out my answer. My answer, I'm going to take Will to go see an Eddie Murphy movie. That way all of us can be kind of together. That's Well, I appreciate again for you all chiming in on this topic. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts about Ray J checking Tyrese over Eddie Murphy's joke? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
We got the best looking analysts anywhere.
Big fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Well, now you can join us live in studio for lunch at Comedy Hype. Click the link down below in our description or go to our Instagram page and click the link in our bio for your chance to RSVP. I hope to see you here for Comedy Hype News. I'm Symphony Thompson.